As Robert Palmer once said, you might as well face it, you're addicted to memes. At least I think that's what he said. I might just be addicted to memes. Either way, it's Valentine's Day, so the season of romance is in the air and everyone is feeling lovey-dovey, sending flowers, cards, chockies, and more importantly, watching romantic movies and feeling the love they share. And if you're not in the lovey-dovey mood for whatever reason, which is also cool, you can still watch a romantic movie and remind yourself of just how cheesy some of them can be. This isn't how love really works, guys. And some movies get so cheesy, they may as well be a Stilton factory on a hill made of mozzarella, with workers who clock in and out using cards made of red Leicester, which they then eat with their lunch, which is a side to cheddar souffle. And there's feta because it's so cheesy. Some of those cheesy moments are so cheesy, they get turned into memes. Memes we can all laugh at because of how cheesy and silly they are. Here are 9 romantic movies that are so cheesy, they got turned into memes. Number 9, La La Land. It seems mean to kick off with La La Land because it's actually quite a wonderful movie that is beloved by many, myself included. But there are folks out there who didn't like it as much as others and found it to be a pretty cheesy affair with way too much dancing. It also has a bunch of memes off the back of it, especially because of, you know, the thing with the Oscars. Whoops! But while I wish this could be my favourite meme from the movie because it is very clever, the winner has to be this image of Emma Stone looking off camera while beautiful Ryan Gosling is talking out of his gorgeous mouth, which is pretty similar to this popular meme. Oh, so many of these really do speak to me. Number 8, Titanic. Yeah, it made $1 bajillion. Yeah, it's like the biggest movie ever made before the same director knocked it off its pedestal with his blue cat. That wasn't until some superheroes appeared on their right and took over. But Titanic is, it's still quite a cheesy movie. The effects are gorgeous and the finale of the ship sinking is just as harrowing and powerful as it was 20 odd years ago. But we use the draw me like one of your French girls liners around in Cinemania because it's very cheesy and iconic. There's also Rose telling her very long story about a diamond she then throws in the sea, and of course, the door scene, which created a slew of memes and parodies. It's also a movie that became meme-worthy over the last few years for different reasons. Like a couple of years ago, it was used to meme the popular ice bucket challenge that swept social media for a hot minute, and now in the middle of a global pandemic, it's being used again, this time with the sinking ship and the band playing until the very end. Also, want to give a shout out to this meme for making me laugh while I was doing my research. Number 7, Romeo plus Juliet. Sticking with Mr. DiCaprio for a second, let's take a look back at Baz Luhrmann's 1996 reimagining of the Billy Shakespeare classic Romeo plus Juliet. Even its title has become a meme. It's not Romeo and Juliet, is it? It's Romeo plus Juliet. I guess the most memeable thing about Romeo plus Juliet, outside of its title, I will stop doing it, is the fact that these two crazy kids meet and then want to get married really quickly. It's the sort of thing that Frozen warned us about decades later. But as this meme shows, Romeo's plan to meet a cute girl at a party, then convince her to marry him while at the same time murdering her cousin sounds a bit like a plan Gru would come up with. And while Romeo plus Juliet is a fantastic adaptation of the play, it does pale in comparison to the Amdram version from Hot Fuzz. Number 6, The Notebook. Look, I'm just going to put my cards out on the table here and say I don't like The Notebook. Look, I'm not an elitist. I'm not an elitist in any way. I'm not saying you're wrong if you do enjoy it. I just don't like the movie much. Sadly, that does make me every guy according to this meme, even with Ryan Gosling and that beautiful beard of his. Stop being so handsome, you're making it harder for the rest of us. The fact that The Notebook is seen as a typical chick flick, it's prone to a lot of online mocking from people like me. I know, I'm part of the problem. There are 2 popular meme-worthy scenes from The Notebook, one of which is the follow-up to the line, I wrote you 365 letters, which is a lot of letters in all fairness, and can easily have the reaction replaced with Michaela Maroney's whatever face, or pointing out that nobody has time for that. It's also been updated to what the line would have looked like in 2018, which still seems apt for 2021. Stop tagging me in memes, mum. WhatsApp saves them to my camera roll. The other meme comes from the always hilarious What Do You Want scene, which wonderfully sums up my relationship with my wife when it comes to what we're having for dinner. Number 5, The Princess Bride. I know what you're thinking and or typing. The Princess Bride is neither a romance movie or a rom-com, and I would agree. However, literally one of the opening lines of the movie is the grandson asking grandpa if The Princess Bride is a kissing book, and you know what? I'm with Fred Savage. Although I keep using this romantic movie term, but I don't think it means what I think it means. Anyway, there's a multitude of memes coming out of The Princess Bride, which isn't inconceivable, and it helps because the film is filled with classic lines and brilliant performances. And as this meme tells us, it's a better love story than Twilight. Oh, those poor sparkly vampires, they're always the butt of the jokes. The real winner here though is me, because I got to talk about The Princess Princess Bride even though it had a tenuous link to this video and you had to listen to me, you fools. Number 4, Notting Hill. You know how I said I didn't like The Notebook? Well, I don't like Notting Hill much either. It's Hugh Grant at his most hysterics, and outside of a few funny lines, the film is just one big ball of cheese and not the sort of cheese I like. And a lot of that cheese comes from the scene where Julia Roberts tells the Hughster that she's just a girl standing in front of a boy asking for him to love her, but really, girls need other things than just love, like coffee, timesheets, finishing safety training, and more importantly, donuts. And this meme is also correct. Who really says whoops-a-daisy? Number 3, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Let's stick with old Hugh Balls, as his other Richard Curtis 90s romp saw him attend 5 events that were detailed in the film's title. It's not particularly meme heavy, which is surprising given that I had a notice seen absolute barf, but I did want to highlight and remember Grumpy Cat's thoughts on the movie, who felt there weren't enough funerals. Remember Grumpy Cat? Oh, those were the days of the internet, a much more innocent time. Number 2, Dirty Dancing. Fun fact, the first time I saw Dirty Dancing was on a date to impress a girl I liked at university. She did not like me, I did not like the movie. No, I did not have the time of my life, and I do owe it all to you, Dirty Dancing. I think a lot of people forget some of the more, shall we say, hard-hitting themes of Dirty Dancing, instead focusing on the dancing aspect of its title, and loving Patrick Swayze because, I mean, we all love Patrick Swayze, look how much he lifts. And while no one should put Baby in a wine barrel in the corner, it is worth remembering that her name is Baby, so you can fit that into any meme that involves a song by Carly Rae Jepsen, a song that is way better than the movie. And number 1, Love Actually. Of course it had to be Love Actually, of course it did. I mean, you're spoilt for choice. The film went viral a few years ago when it reminded everyone that Keira Knightley, who gets married in the film, and Brody Lee Sangster, who is a child in the film, are only 5 years different in age. Thankfully, it all worked out for him and he grew up to be Prince Harry. It's also been used to mock Oscar's So White, and no one quite get over that moment where Alan Rickman buys the necklace for the other girl that isn't Emma Thompson, instead giving her a Joni Mitchell album that this person points out she probably already owned. But really, it's this scene with Andrew Lincoln not fighting zombies and instead flirting with 17-year-old Keira Knightley, who is only 5 years older than the drumming child, remember? Our own Prime Minister once parodied it once, which also got memed, but it also allows you to add in your own messages, like how to really survive a zombie apocalypse. Come on, Andrew Lincoln, that's a way better plan. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this list, please click another Cineworld video that's on screen for more awesome film content, and subscribe because we'll be back next month with another one of these, and enable notifications so you're up to date with all of our latest content. I've been Luke Owen, and that was a Cineworld list.